What's going on, everybody? We finna do our check-in in just a minute. Let me tie this jig up right quick. We're gonna do a check-in. See what everybody got going on. Okay. Get me one piece of flash to put on here. Do that thing like that there. We finna talk of some noise tonight. Just let me get done with this jig. Y'all know I love my color gray. I ain't used my gray in a minute, but tournament time is coming up. So, gonna bring out the old trusted gray again. Just like that. Put a little glue on that thing. This is actually, what I'm using is actually clear fingernail polish. Fingernail hardener. And boom, there we go. All right, let's see who up in this thing. Hugo, double salute. What it do, fam? DRD Outdoors, what's going on, brother? 351 Cleveland's in the building. Richard Ryan, what it do, what it do, what it do? Fly Guys is in the building. Double salute to Fly Guy. Chat Chop, what it do, fam? Rocky Mims. That's that guy. Texas Crappie Assassin. Let's go. I know you ready for these tournaments. DRD Outdoors said, I think they canceled that tournament. Which one? Time for Lake Houston? It's probably ugly tomorrow. I think like 30 mile per hour wind, 25 mile per hour winds. So I'm definitely, I don't play in those type of winds. But so they probably did cancel the one for Lake Houston. Lake Houston look like chocolate milk anyway. Mickey Wilson, what's going on? Sean Dixon, what it do, fam? Alaska's in the building. Sid Lewis, what it do? What it do? Squid O, what's happening, fam? Hugo says sink or swim tomorrow. That's exactly what it's going to be, sink or swim. Because 25, 30 mile per hour, I don't play in those winds. Fly Guy said, I was watching Thomas Fishing new video. That man, the truth, love his live scope videos. And I don't have live scope. Man, look, live scope is an amazing tool to have. It's definitely an amazing tool to have. That's my guy, Thomas Fishing, the Mississippi madman. Mickey Wilson, I need to learn how to tie jigs. I got several videos on how I tie my jigs. Several videos. He gonna say, boat flip them T. That's sure what he say. Camo Joseph, what's cracking? Crappie Nation. What it do? What it do, Camo Joe? Melick Rod, what it do? What it do? What it do? Jeffrey Clement, that's my guy, y'all. The Mississippi man. What it do, Jeff? What it do? What it do, Bo? He's at Double Tap Gurus in the house. Like I said, Hugo, man, I want to fish up there so bad. Just too far. I live in Forney. Okay, okay. Bubba G, what it do? What it do? What it do? David Murray, what's going on? What's going on, David Murray? Mike Turner's in the building. What it do, Chief? And make sure y'all hit that like button, man. KP, what it do, KP? He said, I don't understand the part with the hook. Oh, the whip finisher. That's the hardest part for everybody. So how I learned, I watched some videos on YouTube and I literally had to just slow mo it and watch it like 100 times to figure out how to use that whip finisher. It's kind of frustrating to use that whip finisher. Yeah, man, we're gonna make it happen, man. We're gonna definitely make it happen. I'm gonna go down to Mississippi one of these days, man, and hit up Thomas, and we're gonna make that happen. Maurice Clemens, what's going on? So I've said, Lewis, I'm glad you said that. So a lot of my jigs, I probably say in the last 6 months, it's a different look, and I'll tell y'all my secret. Um, y'all know I always love bucktail. So I honestly don't do a lot of bucktail now. I do deer belly hair. It fans out more. The bucktail kind of looks more straight, but the deer belly hair kind of fans out. It fans out more when you tie it. So I kind of like it because it makes it, more fluffier than that bucktail. The bucktail kind of stays a little too straight. So I've been doing the deer belly hair probably about the last 6 months. School, what's going on, School? Sean Dixon said, to be honest, you don't need the whip finisher. You definitely don't. All you need is to do is make up your 5 loop knots and then add glue, and the knot is good. That is true. I'm so glad you said that, Sean Dixon. So with the whip finisher, all the thing the whip finisher do is tie knots. You can make a knot however you want to make a knot. It's not a certain way you have to make a knot. You just putting the knot in so that it don't come loose. And then when you put the glue on it, that's just to secure it. So you really don't need to actually, you actually don't need a whip finisher. To me, it's just easy for me to use a whip finisher because I know how to use it now. So that's the only thing, that's the only difference is that it's just easier for me to make the knots with the whip finisher. But you don't need a whip finisher to make it. I've seen people make knots with their fingers, or just like Sean Dixon was saying, you can actually just make loop knots and then put a little glue. Like I said, that hardest nail. This is the hardest nail fingernail polish, hardest nail. It ain't nothing but the clear coat hardener, the nail hardener. This all is a fingernail hardener. Or I also got the water-based head cement. Well, you can use the water-based. It's real thin. I don't like it because it's real runny. You got the hard head cement. This is a little thicker. So I mean, it just depends on whatever you want to use. He said it's small patches. What is the small patches? C. Lewis. What it do? It's Dyson. But you see with this deer belly hair, this how it comes. Some of it come like this on the deer belly hair, and some come like this. But the deer belly hair definitely fans out better than the actual bucktail. See how it comes, and it's the deer belly hair, and it definitely fans out. It's shorter too. It's shorter, so you don't have to do a lot more cutting than with that deer belly hair. I mean, with the bucktail, you're gonna have to cut it because those strands are long. But with the deer belly hair, they're already short, so you really don't have to cut a lot off of it. And it's the same concept. You just pinch a little bit off, however much you want on your jig. You just pinch a little bit off. Get your scissors, go all the way down to the bottom, cut your little piece off, and set it up on top of the jig, and just lock it in. You don't gotta fill it all the way up. Just make sure it's secure. When it's secure, boom, there it is. So man, I'm glad everybody's on today. Let's talk about we're gonna elaborate more on the transition, the crappie and the transition, man. This winter, especially in the South, I know in Texas, definitely, the bite has been fluctuating. One day you have a good day, the next day you have a bad day. About the fish feeding. It's fluctuating because of the inconsistency in the weather. Like, yesterday, a couple days ago, it was cold all day. Then today, you can put on short sleeves today. It was sunny, got up to the mid 60s, high 60s, almost 70s. So I mean, it felt good today in Houston. Beautiful day. But then turn around tomorrow, I think the high, I don't even think it's gonna hit 50, and it's gonna be 30 mile per hour wind. Like, it's gonna be ugly tomorrow. And it's supposed to be cold, I think Sunday, then it'll start warming back up to the mid 60s again in the weekday. So that fluctuating in weather Sometimes, a lot of the time, it messes with the bite. You get a different bite from the crappie because you got to look at they're in this water where the water temp is 60 degrees 3 days, then it's 50 degrees one day, then it's 62 degrees the next day. So the fluctuation of that water, that all depend on when the crappie spun and that time to spun is the water temp. And that's why I say that water temp, especially in the wintertime and in the springtime, is so important. Most of the time, not all the time, most of the time when you have a consistent uh between 50, between 50 and 57, 58 degree water temperature, and it's consistent, about a month or so, and then that water temperature start to rise up to, that early and mid 60, 62, 63, 64, 65 degrees. That's when the crappie start to transition to the spun, going to the shallows. So whenever you fishing, you on your boat, I always look at that water temperature. Look at that water temperature. It like I said, in the south, I know crappie start to spun a lot. Not all the time, but most of the time they start to spun when that water temp is consistency in those the beginning or mid 60s, and a crappie will begin to start spawning then. Because a lot of these crappie now, they full of eggs. They getting full of eggs. That they're getting ready. They're not there yet, but they are getting ready. So that's one thing that we have to pay attention to, is looking at that water. Water temperature is everything in that winter transitioning into the spring. Because that's what everybody love. Everybody love the spun. Some people don't like it, but most people love the spun. It's easier to catch them. You catch a lot more bigger crappie, and you just get a lot more bites. You just finding the area where they spun at. So if you have creek channels or creek channels or like bayous and things like that on your lake, that is a good place to start to look for spawning crappie. Don't get me wrong. You have some place on the main lake where crappie spawn at, but you have a better chance to catch more crappie in those creek channels and those bayous and things like that, because that's what most crappie run to spawn. So and the thing about it, start checking them now. If you got creek channels and stuff like that and bayous on your lakes that you fish, start checking them now, because some of those fish are already transitioning. They're already moving in. A good place to check is the mouth of a bayou, the mouth of a creek channel. Start checking there, checking those mouths of those creek channels and the bayous. Because those crappie, they starting to move. They on the move. Don't get it wrong. They on the move. Don't think that they're not there, because they on the move. They getting there. It's just, sometimes one day you might get there and catch you a couple. The next day you might not catch none. It's just that fluctuation of weather, fluctuation of water temp. So, they in and out, in and out. They're not just staged 100% ready to spawn yet. It's definitely not ready for spawn. We here in the South, we probably got what is January. Depending on the weather, most of the time, it get pretty cold in February. Then March is when the water starts to warm back up. The weather starts to warm back up. So most of the time it's early to mid March, sometimes the end of March, depending on, like I said, depending on that weather and the consistency of the weather to warm that water up. And you got to think about it. When the crappie spun, they want that warmer water. So where are they going to go? They're going to go to the shallows. They're going to go to the creeks. The creeks, most creeks, they're not going to be 20 and 15 feet. Most creeks, they're going to be, 10 feet, maybe 12 feet, 7, 6 feet. That water is going to warm up faster than this 15 feet, 20, 25 feet. That water is going to take longer to warm up. So, of course, the crappie want that warmer water to spawn in. So that's why I say start fishing the mouths. Most time when you're at the mouth of a creek, mouth of a bayou, it's going to be a little bit deeper than the bayou or than the creek. So start checking the mouths of those bayous and creeks, channels, and stuff like that, because that's where a lot of the crappie are getting ready to start staging, if they haven't already started staging yet. So my question is, have anybody been at the mouth of the creeks or the creek channels or bayous or wherever they're fishing? Have they started checking those mouths to see have the crappie came in yet? Bud Crisco, what's the deal? VHF. He said, no. VHF, it ain't like that. I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. It ain't like that. You my guy. Mello, what's happening? Fly Guy said, "Yeah, big facts, bro. How you think is going to affect the crappie? That weather, I don't know, man. I don't know, because one thing I can say, after that freeze in February, like the bite was horrible. But a couple weeks when it started warming up, it was unbelievable. And I shot a few videos last year. It was unbelievable. Like we was catching 3 and 4 man limits. So I don't know. 351 said I've cleaned crappie Sunday with eggs. Oh yeah, they got eggs in them. I was catching some in December last month, and they me and Lamar were talking about that about a month or two ago. In November, I was catching them, and the sacks had started to form already. So you know that November time, the sacks will start forming. December they definitely can form, and in January, you know now they got eggs in them. You know some of them are almost ready to bust. They need a couple more weeks. Dennis Shoops said, "Hey Kenny, about to get real cold snap in South Carolina, just getting over the flu, ready to hit the creek banks. Man, I'm glad you feeling better, Danny, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. And yes, sir, you already know. Hitting them creek banks. I told y'all better check them creek channels and them bayous. Trust me, they moving in. Fly Guy said, can't wait until the spawn. The bite is too much up and down for me. It is. It definitely is. And the thing about it, well, I would just say, it gets so frustrating when you got that fluctuating and bite. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're on a consistent bite. If you go into like you get a consistent bite, like yeah. Then all of a sudden the next few times you go, you're like, man, this is horrible. And you know that's happened to me. I went out to Somerville a few weeks ago, and I caught me some slabs. I was just like, oh yeah, it's on and popping. But then when I go back, I'm like, dang, I can barely catch 3 or 4 fish. But it's because of that water temp and the weather is fluctuating. It's not consistent. Crappie love that consistent weather. If it's gonna be cold and they get stuck in that cold, they know what to do. If it's warmer, it's stuck in the warmer water, they know what to do. But when it's cold one day, warm one day, cold one day, warm one day, it fluctuates and the bite definitely gets tougher. Squiddo said, do you think these long full moons affect bite? It definitely does. A lot of people don't believe in it, but I believe in it. I actually got an app that tells me about the moon phases. Yarley, he put me on it. My guy Yarley put me on it. Those moon phases definitely play a part in the bite because you got to look at it. Most of the time you have those long full moons, a lot of the fish, not just crappie, but a lot of fish, they going to feed. They're going to feed at night. So by the time you pull up to them, yeah, you got a live scope, you pull up to a brush pile loaded with crappie, and you can't get one. Maybe you get one to bite. And a lot of us wonder, why we only get one to bite and all these crappie down here, and they're not even active trying to bite it. Because most of the time there's that full moon, it's a long night, they're gonna long full moon nights. They're gonna feed all night, and when they feed, it's just like with us. Just like we're human. We can go to an all-you-eat buffet, but once we full, we full. We don't want to eat no more until we get hungry again. So, and it's just like with crappie. Once crappie are full, you know, you of course you're gonna have a couple crappie that's full and they still want to eat. Don't get me wrong, but most of the time when crappie they feed all night, they really don't care about eating that day. Sacker Lake Bandit, what's going on down there? He goes, I think it's going to hit in February this year. Cold weather don't seem like it's going to be around some. It definitely don't. And that's why I feel that what's going to happen is we're going to have this, you know, 60 and 50, 40, 60, 50, 40, 60, 50, 40 throughout January. And I think February when a cold snap is going to come, just like it did last year. Fly Guy said, I just been fishing bridge columns for right now. Yeah, man. I mean, it's really no consistency right now on a lot of lakes. A lot of lakes, especially down here in the south, a lot of lakes is no consistency because of the fluctuating weather. As Dyson said, crappie is in the shallows and hunting for beds. That's what I'm saying. They already in. They're already moving into the creeks. But like I said, if you want to check the mouths of the creeks and the mouths of the bayou because a lot of crappie are staging there also. But yeah, they're definitely already some moving in the creeks and in the bayous most definitely. VHF says this is a class in winter crappie fishing Texas. Most definitely. Texas Crappie Assassin said, I've seen them in the spawning ground. My latest video, there you go. You see that? Texas Crappie Assassin just said. They already, you see, because what's going on is the crappie are being fooled. Like right now, I know on Somerville, the water temp last time I was out there was like 59, 60 degrees. Okay. It's consistently 59, 60 degrees. Okay. Then say we have 2 or 3 days where it gets 75, 80 degrees. The water temp gonna jump up a little bit. It's fooling the crappie saying, oh, it's getting ready to start spawning. Let me start moving in. Then all of a sudden, a cold snap come through. And what that does is pushing them back out. So they you know, they going in, then they coming back out. They going in, they coming back out. And so that wears them down. And a lot of times that's why the bite is not as good as it's supposed to be, because it's no consistency nowhere around. Sun up, down fishing says Central Texas in the house. Double salute. Sun up, sundown fishing. For sure. MC said, what up, Kenny and Callie's in the building. My dad just texted me. My dad said he was at the Ross Barnett Reservoir in Mississippi, and he said the fish wasn't biting. And like I said, I think that's a part of it because of that fluctuating weather. And we've been having some beautiful weather down here in the South. Beautiful days, man, where you like, this day is so beautiful. I know the fish bite. And then they ain't biting. Then we're like, why they ain't biting? Because of the weather. The water temp. The water temp is not consistent. MC said, what up, Kenny? Callie's in the building. Callie's in the building. What it do, MC? Ashley said, I love you, baby. I love you too. He said, just wanted to show love briefly. I appreciate it. S. Dyson said, lately catching good mix of blacks and whites. That's what's up. What part of what part of the US are you at, S. Dyson? I might need to come and follow you, man, because it's been a very inconsistent bite. Cameron Joe said, facts. I like fishing at night on full moon. There it is. See, I've never fished for crappie at night. I don't think I never fished at night before. But I truly believe that a lot. I mean, and I watch videos on YouTube of people that just fish at night a lot. And that's the reason why, because a lot of times crappie, they bite at night, especially on these full moons. They're going to bite at night. And so if they feed all night, what they going to do during the day? They're going to chill. Kevin Walker's in the building. Say hello from Louisiana. What it do? What it do? Mike Turner said, Ashley, please help Kenny catch his 3 pounders. I know, man. I have to catch this 3 pounder. But I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to let y'all out on a little secret. Most of y'all already know. Well, maybe not. Lake Somerville is my new favorite lake that I'm going to be fishing a lot. I won't say my favorite lake. But it's going to be the fish. That's where I'm putting a lot of brush piles at now. I'm going to start doing my guide trips on Lake Somerville. So I'm trying to, get Lake Somerville to where I want it to be, where I actually have 25 or 30 brush piles out there. So one thing about Somerville, I think over the last 5 years, every other year somebody's broke the lake record. So at Lake Somerville, it's a nice size lake, and it's not an easy lake. Trust me, Somerville will break your heart out there. And I like the challenge, even though while I'm fishing, I don't like it because sometimes I might not catch as many as I want. But one thing about Lake Somerville definitely has 3 pounders. And that, like I said, every other year somebody's breaking it. If not every year, somebody's breaking the lake record. I know a couple years ago, somebody broke the lake record within a week of each other. Somebody broke the lake record, and the next week somebody came along and broke their record. So they let you know. And I know last year the lake record was broke last year at Lake Somerville. So trust me, it's definitely some 3 pounders at Lake Somerville. But one thing about it, they're not going to just jump in the boat. You got to fish out there. I like it. Like I love it. And I love that lake too because the water clarity stays the same all year round. It never gets muddy or murky. It's that blue, it's that greenish tint water, and that's what it stays, that greenish tint water. That's what it stays year round. Cyclade Banner said, today the water temp was at 61 degrees. Guys on the creek said it was 50 last week. See there? One thing for sure, y'all. I promise y'all this. If y'all don't believe nothing else I say. When you have a 10-degree water difference, a water change, 10 degrees in a week, that would throw a bite off so bad. Crappie do not like non-consistent water temperatures. That's a drastic change from 10 degrees or 11 degree water temp. That's a drastic 9 degree. Like, that's a drastic change in a crappie's mind when they're in that water. If you trying to tell me I've been swimming and eating at 60 degrees, now it went down to 51 degrees, or it was 51 degrees, now it jumped up to 60 degrees, that's a big difference. And it takes the crappie a little longer to get settled in. It might take them a week or two, and that water temp will have to stay the same. But think about it, if it's 50 degrees last week, 60 degrees this week, then it go back to 50 degrees next week, man, them crappie minds going to be blown. But think about it, if you got a consistent 3 or 4 weeks of 50 degree water temp, or consistently 60 degree water temp. That consistency of water temp was crappie love. Mr. B, what's going on? He gonna say, Be seeing me out there a lot. Been putting out piles too. Gotta plant the seeds before you reap the fruit. Ooh, I like that. I love it. I love that saying because that's a fact. I mean, that's something I always say, you got to put the work in. You got to put them piles out there. You got to, and it's hard to do. Don't get me wrong. It's something I go out there and go take me 4 or 5, maybe even 6 center blocks out there. I see that water, I get on the water. I'm like, man, I want to go fishing. I'll put the brush piles out later. But I know I need to go ahead, find the right trees I want to cut down, or what size I want to cut. Going to cut these trees down, time this center block, find the right area that I want to put these brush piles at. And when I get done with all this, it might take me 2 or 3 hours, then I can fish for the rest of the day. It's definitely hard to do that. It's hard to do that because most of us, when we get that water, we're ready to start fishing. But just think about it. If you take 2 hours, or maybe it won't even take you over 2 hours. It take you 2 hours to put out 6 brush piles. It won't take you there. It'll literally probably take you about an hour. But just say you take 2 hours, put out brush piles for 2 hours. You put 6 brush piles out, and it'll take you 2 hours. Think about how many more times you can come to that lake and fish those 6 brush piles that maybe nobody else will find, or take them years to find. Then think about you go back out there a month later and you go put out 4 more brush piles. Now you got 10 brush piles that's almost to yourself. Then you go back out there in another month, you may put 3 or 4 more brush piles out. And within 6 months, you done put 25, 30 brush piles out there. So think about going to a lake. Think about this, y'all. Just let's imagine going to your favorite lake or whatever lake you fish, and you got, let's just say 20 brush piles out there. Do you think it'll be easier for you to catch a limit on 20 brush piles that you put out there compared to 20 brush piles that you found? Because if you found them, somebody else probably put them out there. Of course, you're going to have your lay downs where, trees laid down on the bottom of the lake and all of that. But I'm talking about just having brush piles out there. Most of the time when you find a brush pile out there, other people done found it too. But if you're strategically putting out brush piles in certain areas, I love to put brush piles out in areas where I don't see people fish at. It might take a little longer for the fish to get to it, but when the fish get to it, they're going to stick to it. And it's not going to be like, I'm going to catch all the fish out the brush pile and there'll never be fish on it again. There are always going to be fish coming back to that brush pile because now they know this is a home for me. I like to scan areas where there's not a lot of people and not a lot of structure. I put 4 brush piles out last time I went, and the areas I put the 4 brush piles out, I never seen nobody fishing. And the areas I put them out, I seen one piece of structure out there, small piece of structure. I didn't see nothing else out there. So it might take 2 or 3 months. I'm going to tell you another thing about right now. I'm going to tell y'all, I promise y'all, right now is the best time to put out brush piles. Right now in the wintertime. Why? Because you're going to have crappie transitioning to the shallows, so they're going to pass by. They might hit the brakes and stop there for a little while and go into the shallows. Then when they do their thing, go to the shallows, they coming back out, and they going to stop there, and they might stick around long enough for you to catch them. So I strategically put brush piles in. Okay, it might be 10 or 15 feet from the bank, but it's a drop off where the water get to 15 feet. So they only got to go 10 feet to this creek channel, or 15 feet to this bayou, or 5 or 10 feet to these shallows, but it's in 10 or 15 depth of water. So that's the thing we got to look at, is putting out these piles, strategically putting them out where the crappie are going to go and spawn, where they have somewhere to stage it before they go. Let them go, then they come back and they have somewhere to stage it again, to sit there and feed. Because one thing about the post-spawn, the crappie are going to be hungry, because think about it, they've been dangling, doodling for a few weeks, and they done went out there and did their thing, and now they tired, they wore out, they done lost their stomach. That was the female, they done lost their stomach, they ready to feed and build themselves back up. A lot of the males done sat there and sprayed the eggs, they done sat there and guarded the eggs, they done fought everybody off, they done wore out, they done wore themselves out. So now they're ready to come back also and feed. So put those brush piles out, especially in places where crappie might spawn, or they have spawned before, but just put in a little bit deeper water, 10 to 15 feet of water. So they'll have somewhere to come back to, where they ain't just got to go run all the way back over here, run out. Oh, y'all can stop right here. I got you. I got a whole brand new hotel for you. free of charge. Look, y'all can stay at my hotel free of charge, but they just don't know. They think it's free, but they're gonna be released in the grease when you go catch them. So that's what you got to think about. Take the time to put those brush piles out there. Take the time. I promise you, you will reap the benefits of your labor. I promise you. And I'm making an example. So right now I put out 4 out there, and every time I go out there, I'm gonna put out 3 or 4 more. And I guarantee you, by summer, I want y'all to watch the videos I'll be putting out by the summertime. God's willing, by the summertime, watch the videos of what I put out about Lake Somerville. Fly Guy said about to buy me a cam and reel setup and some jigs and put it on a payment plan, guaranteed to catch fish. Oh, can't forget the bag. Y'all gonna have me take me some shots. I ain't gonna do it. See, being messy. Fly Guy being messy. And then Donnell over there, Sackler Bandit, he over there hyping them up. Y'all don't do that, man. I ain't finna mess with Cam. I ain't gonna do Cam like that. I ain't gonna do him like that. Danny Schubert said, this time next year, your old favorite lake will be full of 3-pounders. You can't go out there. Sickening. That's a fact. That's also a thing I've thought about too. I've put so many brush piles out there, and I got a lot of brush piles that I know nobody ever find, because I just put some out. I put some out there like 2 weeks before they closed the lake. Before I knew they was closing the lake, I had put out like 6 brush piles, and I got them strategically put out where I know nobody's gonna find them. And I can only imagine what that lake is about to produce. Hopefully in about 2 or 3 years they open it back up, and if they do, gonna be some monsters out there. Mike Turner said, yeah, they being messy, Mike. They being messy, Mike Turner. He goes, so that's why I always make mine at home and drag them out there. Build them during the week, drag them out there during the winter. I'm always the first boat out there on the cold morning. That's true. And see, me too. It's hard for me to go fishing after 9 o'clock. I want to be on the lake between 7 and 7:30. My boat got to be in the water. That's why I always leave at about 5 o'clock, because there really ain't no close lakes to where I stay at. The closest lake is Lake Houston. That's about an hour and 15-minute drive, but it ain't worth going because it's always muddy. So if I'm going to Lake Somerville, it takes me about an hour and a half. Or Lake Conroe gonna take me about an hour and a half. So I always leave about 5 o'clock, get there about 6:37. Well, I stop at the gas station, give me some snacks, ice for the cooler. So I get there about 7 o'clock, and by that time, I can go out there. And what's so crazy what I do, because I don't take my brush piles out to the lake. I like to cut them on the lake. What I do is every time I'm fishing, I'm looking around also at what trees are close to the bank that I can make a brush pile out of. That's why I say I'm always, my mind is always on what can I do to make my experience on the lake better. I'll be out there fishing, catching crappie, and the whole time I'm like this, looking around. Oh, look at that tree laying in the water right there. Look at that tree right on the bank. I'm gonna cut that tree down. That's a good brush pile right there. I like the way that tree look. I'm gonna cut you down, tree. And so that's how I be when I'm fishing. Whenever I'm on the lake, I'm looking at what can I do to make my experience for the next time better. Fly Guy said, I had to, y'all. No, man. He gonna say, with Afterpay, shoot, I'm gonna splurge. I'm gonna buy me about 3 outfits, and you fellas you fellas recommend. Man, stop it, man. Don't mess with that Afterpay, man. Leave that Afterpay alone, y'all. It's a setup. It's a setup. Don't do it. Look at the Sackler Bandit talking some yank. Man, don't do it. Don't do it. Slam Doc Lamar's in the building. What to do. Fly Guy said, Hugo, that Afterpay killing me, bro, for fishing gear. Man, y'all leave that Afterpay alone, man. It's a setup. Bubba G said, Ken, how can we, or who do we talk to about brush piles out? I honestly don't know. I just go put them out. I don't look. I go to the back of some lakes. I go to the back of the lakes, see some trees close to the bank, jump out the boat, park the boat on the bank, jump out the boat, cut that mug down, drag it back. I have my center blocks on. I use paracord, the parachute cord. If y'all don't know, with military we call it 550 cord, but it's called paracord. Paracord is parachute cord. It's what they use to tie down the parachutes to your backpack or whatever. They sell it at Academy. They sell it at Bass Pro. They sell it at Lowe's and Home Depot for sure. It's called paracord, P-A-R-A cord, C-O-R-D. So if y'all want to find some good strong string to tie onto your center blocks to put your brush pile down, or you just need some good strong string, paracord. They sell it right there at Home Depot or Lowe's. So that's all I use. I use the 550 cord, the paracord, parachute cord, and I tie my brush pile. I actually stick the base of the brush pile in one of the holes of the center block, and I guarantee when you put it in like that, it's always going to stand up. I put the base of my brush pile. I stick it in one of the holes of the center block, wrap it up, tie it up however you want to. Put a couple knots in it, and just throw it over the edge. When you throw it over the edge, it's gonna stand up when you hit the bottom. Texas Crappie said 12-inch screen, be here Sunday, can't wait. Man, look, everybody ain't able, man. I wish I had me $3,000 to spare to get me a 12-inch screen, man. But look, I tell people all the time, they always like, man, what size screen to get? Whatever your money can afford. The biggest your money can afford. If you want a 15-inch, honestly, I want that 15-inch Humminbird Helix. Helix got that 15-inch Humminbird. I really want that 15-inch Humminbird Helix for my console. But yeah, that 12-inch screen for that for that live scope Texas Crappie Assassin. Definitely, I see you ready for the tournaments. I see you getting ready for the tournaments, Texas Crappie Assassin. I see you. Me and Lamar gonna be ready for y'all though. We gonna be ready for y'all. Larry Connor, what's going on? Fam, that's my fam right there. Yarley Kennedy. What it do? What it do? Like Ben said, Bubba, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. I just put them out, and if they say something, I say I didn't know. Bam, there you go. That's all you gotta do. I ain't know we couldn't put brush piles out here. My last like I put them out there. There you go. Don't ask for permission. Just go do it. Just don't get caught. I don't know who this love is. It's some butthole is putting this crap on here. I don't know who this love face.xy online strips without clothing. I wish I knew how to block this person. Let me see. Oh, remove. Let me see. Put user in timeout. Don't put them in timeout because they tripping. I don't know who that is, but they tripping. I had to put them in timeout. Hugo said the sun came up at 7:30. I don't care. I'll be there when they open. Even what it says, even if it's 25 degrees. Love taking my time, getting my boat ready, getting the best parking spot, and nobody in the way or waiting on me. That's a fact. I agree 100%, Hugo. That's why I love to go early too. I love to go early too. Dennis Graham said, I got two 1243 XSV. I know y'all having fun with them. I know y'all having fun with them 12 inches. I'm coming. Y'all just wait. I got a surprise for y'all this year. Y'all just wait. Salab Dr. Lamar said, Kenny, go on ball out and get that Apex. Man, look. If I had $5,000 to spare, I sure get that Apex, that 19-inch. I can't wait to see it. I want to actually see it on somebody's boat, that 19-inch. That 19-inch Apex, Humminbird Apex is $5,000. That's a bad boy. You probably can see from here to, from Texas to Hawaii with that 19-inch. I ain't lying. Texas Crappie Assassin said, I've used a 12 before. You can judge fish size much better. I'm getting ready, but I already know. My guy Yarley got him, and he sent me some videos, and you can definitely tell the difference on that 12-inch screen. You can definitely tell the difference in the size of the fish, of the crappie, or fish, period. That's a fact. Oh yeah, I know you're getting ready, man. I'm excited. Have they sent you your card? They haven't sent my card yet. I'm waiting for my Crappie Masters card. Do you know when they're supposed to be sending out the Crappie Master card? I'm so excited. I be checking the mail every day. Where my Crappie Master card at? He gonna say some dude in India messing with you. I know, man. I had to put him in timeout. He tripped. Levi Jones, what's going on? What's going on? Camel said, I think I paid like $250 to cover all bills, bottom with the jacket. Yeah, man. Look, that's also a thing about this winter time, man. Make sure y'all bundled up, cause it gets cold. If it's 40 degrees temperature, it's probably about 35 on the water. You know that water temp always gonna be colder. It's always gonna be colder on the water. So if you see some 50-degree weather and you going out there and it's 45 degrees, don't misjudge it because of what the weather is outside. Because it's always gonna be some degrees colder on that water. So make sure y'all be warm out there, man. He was say, I'll be happy with the 12-inch Humminbird for side scan and the 12-inch Garmin for live scope. Man, I know that's right. I got a 10-inch Humminbird, and it do everything I need to think about. The thing about it, honestly, I tell anybody, if the best, if you want to just get a good picture and you don't want to pay a lot of money, 9-inch screens are the way to go. Anything smaller than a 9-inch, you kind of cheating yourself. To be honest, you kind of cheating yourself. Anything smaller than a 9-inch, you cheating yourself. 9-inch is totally fine with me. I love 9-inch. I'm fine with that. I wouldn't want to fish. I've had 5-inch screens. I've had 7-inch screens. And when I went to a 9-inch screen and a 10-inch screen, there was a difference, especially when you side imaging. So my Humminbird that I do side imaging is a 10-inch screen, and it does everything I needed to do. And the bigger the screen you get, the better clarity you're gonna get, and the more things you'll be able to see, and all that good stuff. So, but if you're gonna be serious about crappie fishing, try not to go no smaller than a 9-inch screen on anything you're doing. Even if you're on your live scope, if you're on your side imaging on your Humminbird or whatever you choose, don't go below a 9-inch, because you'll definitely be cheating yourself. Reels in Motion, what's going on? What's going on? Cyclade Banner said, I'm glad you asked about that card. I've been looking for mine in the mail too. Yeah, man, I've been waiting, man. Camel Joe said got built-in knee pads and butt pads. Man, what kind of suit y'all talking about? Victor Samuel said, what's good? Skinny Kenny got that Sam Heaton super sensitive 10-footer. Man, I tell people that Sam Heaton and that Buck's Best Ultralight are going to be the most sensitive rods you ever will fish with when it comes to crappie rods. They're going to be the most sensitive rods. Like I said, me, I like a little backbone, so I fish with I fish with a few rods. My Todd Huckabee, I got my Todd Huckabee rod. I fish with my Kevin Rogers rod. I fish with my Thump City rod. So, I have a few rods that I fish with, but when it comes to sensitivity, you're not going to beat that Sam Heaton or that Buck's Best. Levi Jones said, that hookup with the jig heads is good. Man, for sure, man. I'm telling you, you can't beat it. I got to call my guy Chris Guthrie and give me some more jig heads, because I painted me some jig heads the other day, and I made me some new jigs. I'm getting ready for this tournament, so these one of the jigs that I think going to be a killer. I think this thing here going to be a killer right here. Y'all see that little snake eye in it? I think this thing going to be a killer. I ain't going to show you the rest of my colors. I got some colors. I don't want Texas Crappie Assassin to try to find my colors jigs that when me and Lamar saw winning these tournaments in. But nah, I got some new colors that I've tied up and getting ready for this tournament. First tournament is February 12th on Lake Palestine, or Palestine, however you want to say it. Oh, this is a Frabble ice suit. Okay. He said, I got to put an outlaw in your hand. Now, I see you fish. I think you and Bluegill fish those. I'm going to have to check them out, man. I'm definitely going to check it out, man. Y'all know I love to fish with different rods. Every rod got a different feeling for a different purpose. That's why I love fishing with different rods, because sometimes I like to fish with this rod. Sometimes I got to fish with this rod. SK said, who down to fish the tournament on Houston tomorrow? SK, ain't nobody finna go fishing no 25 or 30 mile per hour wind. It ain't gonna happen. Well, I don't know. Some people might be out there, but I definitely ain't finna go fishing no 25, 30 mile per hour wind. I ain't about that life. I want to live a little bit longer. You gonna be out there, SK? Levi Johnson, what size jigs are you using? So right now I'm back to child. Y'all know I was on 1/8 for a long. I probably was on 1/8 for probably about 8 or 9 months. I'm going back down to my 1/16. So right now what I see is a smaller profile is getting the job done right now. I think because of the inconsistency in weather and all of that, and the inconsistency in the crappie bite. So I've downsized back to the 1/16. I got a couple 1/32 I'm gonna play with too. Larry Connor said, I'll buy that jig sight unseen, looking good. They for sale now. Don't get it twisted now. I told y'all they for sale. But I got a few colors. I'll bring out one more. I'm gonna show y'all one more of my colors. I'm gonna show it to y'all real quick so y'all don't really look. Ooh, look at that. That thing look dangerous. Oh my goodness. That's that dirty watercolor right there. That's that dirty watercolor. Don't tell nobody. Shh. That's that dirty watercolor. I ain't pulling out no more colors. I got some new colors now. Terry Johnson, hey man, I might be moving to Houston, man. If you do, man, hit me up, Terry Johnson. Hit me up, maybe move down to the H-Town, man. We definitely go do some fishing. For sure. Sack like Ben said, you can keep Lake Houston tournament, SK. I don't fish sewers. Look, man, I done gave up on that muddy water, man. When that water clear up, I'll go back and fish it. But honestly, I'm honestly what I'm doing is I'm building up Somerville. I'm putting the brush piles out on Somerville right now, honestly. So sun up, sun down. Fisher said, do you think hackle outperforms marabou tail material? So I don't use hackle or marabou. All I use is bucktail or deer belly hair. So I don't think I use stuff from a deer. And it's done pretty good for me. I just think it's all about what the crappie want, you know. And then it's different lakes, you know. I'm sure you can go to one lake and catch crappie on hackle. You can catch it on marabou. You can catch it on this synthetic hair. You can catch it on buck hair, deer hair. I mean, you can catch it on whatever, you know. It just, to me, I think it's more of that color. I think it's more of the color. And the action. You know, some fish like different action. You know, with that marabou, it's going to be a slower wave action. The tail, you know, the tail looking like a little wave. And with the synthetic hair, it's kind of the same way. It's like with a wave. The hackle might have a different kind. The bucktail definitely have a stiffer. So, I mean, it just depends. It just depends on what you're comfortable with fishing with. Like, I'm comfortable with fishing with deer hair. SK said, big tournament don't stop for the win or what. That is a fact. Big tournaments don't, but Lake Houston is not a big tournament, so that's why I'm not coming. now when it comes to February 12th on Lake Palestine, hail, sleet, snow, me and Lamar, we're gonna be in it to win it. You know, that's the Crappie Master tournament. When it comes to these 6 Crappie Master tournaments, we already know it's not gonna be perfect conditions. It's definitely not gonna be perfect conditions in on those tournament days. We've seen them on YouTube where they have the American Crappie Trail or the Crappie Masters tournaments on YouTube. We've seen, you know, they be in high winds, but they got big money on the line. So if it was some big money on the line, I'd definitely be out there, but it definitely ain't gonna be no big money on the line. Slab Doc Lamar said, wasting no more time on Lake Houston. Time to practice on the tournament lakes. Oh, for sure. Time to get on the tournament lake. Catching with Key TV. Said, what's up, everyone? No fishing tomorrow. 2 windy. For sure. For sure. What's going on catching with Key TV? SK say, sound like some scared folks in these parts. SK, have your face in the place. February 12th, Lake Palestine. We ain't scared. We getting ready for the big boys. You know, we want to get to the big boys. February 12th, Lake Palestine. Be there or be square. Fishing with Camo Joe said, hardcore about that life. I'm sorry. If I'm not in a big tournament where I can, you know, progress to bigger tournaments, I just can't put myself in that predicament for a local tournament. Not no 25 to 30 mile per hour win. Not in a local tournament where I might win $100. Now you tell me we might win $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and also can place at a certain level to get to these big boy tournaments. I'm down with that. Levi Johnson, I'm catching them on small jigs. Yeah, man. So that's why I downgraded from that 1/8. I was stuck on that 1/8 for a while. I downgraded to the 116 and the 132nd. I'm gonna call my boy Chris Guthrie up and see can I give me some 124s, which I know about them 124s. Lamar put me on those. I'm gonna see can I give me some 124s. I'm gonna tie some of those up and get to some of these smaller profiles before the spun hit. I know when the spun hit, hell, it don't matter. You can put a 12-inch bait in front of a crappie. It'll hit that in the spun, but right now the pre-spun, just because of the fluctuating of water, that temperature, water temp, sometimes that smaller profile would definitely work. Victor Samuel said, put them in a giveaway. Not the new ones, not the new colors. New colors ain't going in the giveaway. SK said, tails tuck. My tail is tucked for Lake Houston because it's a local joker lake. Like I said, you got 6 lakes. In February, you got Lake Palestine. In March, I think it's Lake Livingston. In April, what you got? I think Lake Conroe. In May, you got Lake Somerville. In June, I think you got Sam Rayburn. And in July, I think it's Toledo Bend. Any of those 6 lakes I named, come on out there. Not just the Conroe, because SK, I know you, SK. I know you'll run out the Conroe so you can win it. I want to see the other 5 lakes too. Come on out to Palestine, February 12th. Not no Lake Houston. Come out to Palestine, February 12th. SK ain't scared. Problem is there won't be enough people there tomorrow. I know SK. Look, I know SK gonna fish. He gonna fish, and he'll be in at 25, 30 mile per hour. I don't feel like fishing in 25 or 30 mile per hour with chocolate milk. I don't want to do it. I know you talking Noah, SK. You know we always talk Noah. VHF said, "Did you say that dirty tomato color?" I don't know about that color, VHF. That's my secret color now, so I don't know what you're talking about. SK say 5 people is enough. I feel you. I feel you. I definitely feel you. Roy Dale said, "What's good? What's going on, Roy Dale? What's do, brother?" Fishing with Camel just said, "We know SK crappie catching adventures." DRD are outdoors that I think I've seen on Facebook that the tournament was out for tomorrow on Houston. I might be wrong, but check it out before you go. Oh, okay. Okay. Like I said, I know that wind gonna be ugly tomorrow. Levi Jones said you may want to try jet line to tie the jigs. You might want to try jet line to tie jigs. What is jet line? What is let me know what that is, Levi Jones. Texas Crop Assassin said, going to Palestine Monday. Yeah, we're planning on going this weekend. I gotta call up Gil too. He said he'd probably be going out there this weekend. He said practice is practice. Sound like some excuse to me. Yeah, but see, the thing about it, every lake is different. You can't go practice on Lake Houston. Say I'm gonna go catch a lot of crappie on Lake Somerville. Yes, you can use some of the tactics, but you got to know those lakes also. So if you can fish Houston, you can fish anywhere. That's true. That's true. But every lake is different. Every lake is definitely different. He said, SK, I will be fishing tomorrow, but it won't be Houston. Come on up to Stubberfield. I'm going to be out there soon. Texas Crappie says, I hate that you even said the name. I'm going to be out there real soon. Lamar said, practicing on Lake Houston in no way, shape, or form prepare you for the other lakes. Come on, man. Every lake is different. Every lake is different. Yes, you can use some of the knowledge that you learn from some of these other lakes to take them to the other lakes. That's how that's how you get the knowledge of knowing, certain steps to use. But every lake is different. Every lake is different. Camo Joe said, bring some ski goggles and hella chapstick. You sure gonna need it. And a rain suit. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Danny Schubert said, finish that jig and let me see what it look like. It's just a regular gray jig I'm doing, honestly. I'm just doing a regular that regular gray jig. Y'all know my favorite color jig. That I ain't used this jig in probably a year. Probably over a year I haven't used this gold gray. Gray used to be my favorite color jig, but I done started experimenting with a lot more colors now. But gray is also, like I said, gray is always a good start out jig to use, a good start out color to use. It is gray. So gray is a cool color to use. I got a little bit of this Chanel left, just enough to make this jig, honestly. So can I tie this jig real quick? It might be looking kind of ugly because I'm trying to rush through it. And that is it. Boom. And now I have finished. There it is. It's done. I rushed it so it looked kind of ugly. But I rushed it. But it's done. It'll make the fish bite. Put a little glue on that knot. And boom, there it is. Levi Jones said, you ain't fishing in the wind. You fishing in the water. Yeah, I'm fishing in the water, but you got to fish in the wind to fish in the water. And I ain't willing to do it. SK said, Lamar, any lake, anytime is easier than Lake Houston. Any lake, anytime is way easier than Houston. Honestly, Lake Houston is not that hard of a lake. It's just the clarity throws the fish off. The water clarity is always muddy. 2 hours of rain, you get 2 months of muddy water. Texas Crop Assassin, let's all meet at Palestine Monday. I got to be at work. I'm going out there this weekend, though. Well, next weekend. We supposed to be going out there. I wish I could go Monday. VHF said your secret color is atomic tomato. I have now spilled the beans. See, VHF, you telling everything, man. Chill out, chill out, chill out. Don't tell them all of it. Don't tell them all of it. Lamar said Texas Crappie Assassin pulled some good slabs out of Stubblefield today. Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm gonna be there soon. Texas Crappie Assassin slab for sure. Levi Jones said jet line is what we use to pull wire with. It's comes with 6,500 feet in a bucket. Oh wow. I need some of that. SK said if I do go to Conroe, it wouldn't be Stubblefield. I know, SK, I know you don't like Stubblefield. You like to get on the main lake at Conroe and get it in. I already know. I know your spot too. All your spots. No, I'm just playing. I really don't. Danny Schubert said, I like the way that tail fan out on that jig. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That the difference is the buck tail, which is this is the buck tail. You see how it stays straight and long, but see with the belly hair is different because it's cut short. I mean, it's naturally short, and once you tie it, it gets a little bushier than actually using this buck tail, which is long and straight. Slab Dr. Lamar said, SK, bring your Lake Houston techniques to Palestine February 12th. Is that a call out? Sound like I hear a call out. Texas Crappie said, I think Houston is easy. That's what I'm saying. It ain't as bad. Like I said, this is just a water clear that's always muddy. SK said, not asking for another spanking, are you, Lamar? Come on out there, SK. We want another spanking. Come on out to Palestine. Play with the big boys. Come on out there, February 12th. Calling out SK, Lake Palestine, February 12th. Calling out SK, February 12th, 2022, Lake Palestine. I done got on the intercom. It's a call out. It's a call out. It's a call out. Catching with Key TV said, good luck with your tournament on Palestine. My tournament starts on Lake of the Pine, man. Be careful out there, man. Good luck to your Catching with Key TV. I know you're in Lake Palestine. Lake of the Pines is a wonderful lake. I've fished the spillway a few times, but I've never fished the actual main lake, man. I've seen people catch some unbelievable numbers and size crappie. I know it's some big crappie on Lake of the Pines. I wish I could go up there and fish. Texas Crappie Assassin said Main Lake will be crazy tomorrow. It definitely will be. Definitely will be. I won't be there. I'll be over Times and Jigs. And editing the video. I might drop another video tomorrow. Slab Dr. Lamar said, SK, no sir, we all know you ain't showing up. Hey! Come on now, SK. I know you're going to show up at Lake Palestine. Levi Jones said, you got to get back. You got to get your get back. You scared? I ain't got to get my get back on Lake Houston. I told you I'm not scared to lose, so I don't have to get a get back. But if I want to get a get back, come out to Lake Palestine, February 12th. Levi Jones, you can come out there too. Both of y'all come out there. Lake Palestine, February 12th. SK said, if I had sponsors, I would. We ain't got no sponsors. The only sponsors we got is ourselves. We sponsoring ourselves. Come on out there now. Texas Crappie says, Catching with Key, I would be on the Pines for the Crappie Anglers of Texas. Okay. VHF said, I like that deer tail jig. Look at Donnell. Got them eye. Catching Key said, I see you out there, JJ. For sure. Chat Jock said, have you used Mad Braid? I haven't used Mad Braid yet, man. I've got so many different types of braid I got now because the braid I used to love to use that was cheap on the Cast King braid that used to be like $3 and $4 on eBay that went up to like $9 now. So I've just been trying all different kind of braids now. As long as it's low vis. The only braid I use, I have to use low vis braid. The only braid I use is low vis. It has to be low vis. Mike Turner said, Kenny, you and Lamar go live and drop a dime. LOL. For sure, we will. We will, man. For sure. I definitely will. Slab Dr. Lamar said, sponsor for a $100 entry. It's on the $100. It's $50 to get your card, and it's a $100 entry. You don't need no sponsor for that. Cut that out now. Kitchen will key, yes sir. SK said room, board, gas, etc. Not just an entry fee. Yeah, man, but you know, that's all a part of fish. Think about it. We spend gas on fishing to drive to the lake and for the boat. You ain't gotta stay overnight. Just leave early in the morning. Hey, so you ain't gotta have no board. You ain't gotta have no room. You ain't gotta do that. Just leave early in the morning. Levi said, I wish I could. I live in Florida. Oh man, you far away. I thought you was in Texas. You were talking smack like you was in Texas, man. Oh, okay. I feel you. Sack Bandit said, Levi Jones, you twirling them pom-poms. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be up there. Rah, rah, this boom bah. Rah, rah, this boom bah. Don't do that. Don't do it. 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 But like I said, y'all, we Sack Bandit said, I'm going to compete February 12th. For sure, man. We like I say, it's about challenging yourself on the bigger level. You know, we want to challenge ourselves on a bigger level than a local or a local tournament. You know, you got to grow. It's about growth. That's just like so we look at this tournament stuff as like in life. You know, as you have to grow in life, or you don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to just sit there and be still, because when you're stagnant, you can never progress to your maximum level you can get to. So that's why we like, hey, we can fish, local tournaments all the time. But in order for us to grow and maximize our full potential, we jumping out here, getting into, bigger tournaments where you come certain places in these tournaments and you get your name out there, a lot more things can happen. Or you start winning some of these tournaments that we having in Texas, these crappie anglers of Texas, or these crappie master tournaments. Then you go to the big boy tournaments, the crappie masters in Grenada. You know what I'm saying? Who don't want to fish the big time crappie master tournament in Grenada, Mississippi? If you're a true crappie fisherman, who don't want to fish a big time American crappie trail tournament? Who don't want to fish the big time of Mr. Crappie $300,000 tournament this year? I think it's in Branson, Missouri this year or whatever. Like, that's what we think about. That's stuff we imagine, fishing those big tournaments. So you got to start somewhere. You don't want to be stagnant and stand on this level. You got to grow. So you got to start somewhere. So we're starting at a low level. We fished local tournaments before. We start now at a level where we can grow. We started these, moving around, fishing these different lakes against different people, trying to grow and get where you need to be. And then you learn so much more. You learn so much, because you'll never know everything about crappie fishing. But when you're around these tournaments and stuff, where you got a lot more people with a lot more experience, you start to learn and make you better, till you're up to that level where you need to be. Dennis Graham said, braid is the ticket. You can feel it, bump their lips. That's the only thing I use. Straight braid too. I don't use no leader or nothing. Straight braid. And people use leaders, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying how I fish. I've always fished straight braid with a low VS line. Mello said, what's your routine to figure out what jig to use to get the bites? I don't have a routine. I'll be switching colors. Lamar will tell you, man, I run through 10 colors in an hour. I just run through the colors, cut them, fish for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They don't want to chase it or act like they want to bite it, cut it, go to a different one, change sizes. So I change sizes and change colors all the time till I find out, hopefully I find out what they want. Texas Crappie said, hoping to see all you guys out there. We are working on some great door prizes as well. That's what I'm saying. First of all, I want to appreciate Texas Crappie Assassin. He brought it to my attention. I think he's one of the guys behind this crappie, East Texas Crappie Trail, this Crappie Masters, East Texas Crappie Trail. And I really appreciate you, Texas Crappie Assassin. Double salute. I appreciate it. Very just a SK, will you be at Palestine, right? SK ain't coming to Palestine, y'all. Quit playing. Levi Johnson, I'm old school. I'm not scared. I don't see any of you guys. Okay, we get you. We got you, Levi Johnson. Rah, this going by. Hey! Texas Crappie says, I love fishing against the best. I assure you I have. And see, that's the thing, man. Who don't want to fish against the best? Not the self-proclaimed, but actually guys that got these trophies from Crappie Masters, and got these trophies from the ACT Crappie Trail, and got these trophies from the Mr. Crappie tournaments. Them guys, I don't want to fish again. I want to see where I'm really at. Richard Rounder, what's going on? Fly Guy said, I will be there. My wife and I have a timeshare out there with Silver Leaf. I will not fish the tournament, though I don't have the live scope. Man, you don't need live scope to fish the tournament. Look, the thing about the tournament, all you need is 7 fish, and they just need to be bigger than everybody else 7 fish. Yes, the live scope can definitely help you. Definitely help you. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't need it, but it can definitely help you. Second Life Bandit said, cool, leave out all fun. Texas Crappie says, yeah, you learn a lot. You definitely learn a lot. SK said, VHF, I'm not sure. If I do, I'm calling for a side bit, heavy stringer and big fish on local fellas. For sure, man, look. We ready. We ready, SK. Let us know. Catching with Key said, Fly Guy TV, get scope and get in the game. You need it, man. That you really, like I said, you don't need it. I'll take that back. You don't need it, but if you in a tournament and everybody got live scope and you don't, you cheating yourself. So I understand it. I definitely understand it. Catching with Kiwi said, like you said, it's about growth. Most definitely, man. You got to start somewhere. Nobody wants to, I mean, unless you just don't want to grow. But if you want to grow, you cannot just be set at one standard. You got to raise that bar, man. You got to raise that bar to grow. Mike turns to SK, want to make him some ends, LOL. Well, if you come on out to Palestine and fish these 5 lakes, he can make some ends. It's $100 a boat, and I'm sure you're gonna be a lot of boats out there. You can make a whole lot of ends. All I gotta do is pay $100 a lake. MC says somebody got the DFW boy vibe, LOL. No, man. I ain't got the DFW boys vibe. Well, I don't. I just peeped out what you said. I like that. I didn't catch it at first, but I just caught it. I caught it. Richard Runner said, "What was that food talking about you that I sent you?" I don't know. I gotta go back and look at it. I watched it yesterday, but I can't even remember what it was. Levi Johnson, I like the trash talk too. LOL. Yeah, man, we just trash talking, y'all. I'm telling y'all, don't take this stuff personal. We like the trash talk. We trash talk. That's what we do. It's not nothing personal. VHF said, sound like Palestine will be fun. It should be. I will be at Lake Palestine for 3 days, the weekend of the tournament. Let's go. I am going for all my YouTube homies. For sure, man. For sure. Texas Crappie said it's going to take 13 plus pounds on Palestine. Woo! That's some. I've done it on Lake Houston. I think it was like 1340 something on Lake Houston. That's my biggest 7-foot stringer on Lake Houston. Set was 13.40 something. And I got the video to back it up because it's on YouTube. So my question is, how many people can actually stay they've been to Lake Houston and put out a 13 plus pound stringer? I definitely have. And I got the video on YouTube. MC, I know you want to talk about me. I pick up what you're putting down, brother. I pick up what you're putting down. Texas Crappie Assassin said, Fly Guy, looking forward to seeing you. For sure, man. I'm excited, man, about February 12th. And it's right around the corner, too. It's right around the corner. I'm so excited. Hopefully, God's willing, me and the guys, we're going to be out there this coming up weekend to do some pre-fishing, figure some stuff out. Like I said, I've never fished it before, so hopefully we can get all that done by this weekend, figure some things out, put a game, not really have a true game plan, but have some waypoints where we might want to concentrate on to hopefully we get on some good fish, and we'll see what happens. I done put the person in timeout. They back. They done came back with the bull crap. Fly Guy said, MC chill. Fly Guy is a DFW guy, but not scared like the other ones. High user on this channel. He be tripping. I don't know who this person is. Cyclone Ben said 13 pounds. Jesus! That's a rack of fish. Yeah, that's close to almost averaging 2 pounds of fish. That's probably about 180 of fish. Like I said, a 13 pound stringer on any lake is a great stringer, like I said. But I know I've put in a 13 plus pounder stringer on Lake Houston. So and I caught some slabs. I caught a 270 something. I caught a 250 and caught some 180s and 170s. So I mean, you're gonna have to definitely catch some big slabs out there. Richard Renner said, I got me another boat finally. Man, congratulations, Richard Renner. I'm so glad. I know you ready to get out there on that lake for sure. SK Crappie Catching said 13 pounds is nothing for East Texas Lake. I mean, it's not. That's just like saying a 13-pound plus stringer Grenada. You can average 2.5 pounds on Grenada. But of course, but still a 13-pound stringer anywhere is a good stringer though. A 13 because you're averaging almost 2 pounds of fish. So I mean, it's a good stringer no matter what. I mean, you know, like I said, some lakes bigger than others. You know, some lakes have crappie that's bigger than others. Lake Fork, Lake of the Pines. Of course, a lot of these East Texas lakes have a lot of bigger crappie. Um, but still, 13 pounds is a good stringer. Booked hotel for the weekend and scouting all weekend. For sure, man. We can be out there this weekend. I can't wait. Big Jeff said, question for the Bronze Star bet, Mega Live or Active Target or Live Scope? Live Scope, hands down, no questions about it. I don't want no Mega Live. I don't want no Active Target. Live Scope is the way to go. If y'all want to go and you got a question about what kind of live imaging you want, go with a Garmin Live Scope. Don't cheat yourself with this Mega Live and don't cheat yourself with the Active Target. Don't do it. Danny Schubert said, Kenny, it's time to call out Cam to fish in the tournament. I ain't going to do Cam like that, man. SK said, let me sleep on the floor, D. LOL. He said, SK, you are wanted. You are a wanted man. You finna get me shot. Boy, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Richard Randall said, Cedar Creek already have eggs in them. Yeah, man, a lot of these crappie already have eggs and ready. Like big eggs in them. Slab Dr. Moss said, Danny Schubert, don't think the plastic pelican would fare too well at the takeoff. Yeah, now that plastic pelican on that takeoff, boy, the air how everybody be taking off, that might not end well for him. MC said, SK, you setting traps, LOL. I know you too well. Mike Turner said, Danny, LOL. Pump your brakes, bruh. SK said, MC, LOL. Fly Guy said, Texas Crappie Assassin, if I don't place my order for the jigs before the tournament, can you bring them or I can just buy them from you? Okay. Larry comes to Kenny, what is the water clarity on Palestine? I don't know. I've never fished Palestine. I'll tell you this weekend, though. God's willing, I will tell you this weekend about the clarity. I ain't going to shoot no video, though. But I will be recording during the tournaments, though, y'all. So, y'all stay tuned. I'm definitely going to be recording during the tournaments. But I'm definitely not recording before the tournaments. So, y'all, it's about that time for me to get on off this thing. So, we appreciate all the input everybody putting in, man. Stay tuned next week. We might do a giveaway next week. Stay tuned next week for more information. Man, I appreciate all the feedback y'all give me. And I hope y'all appreciate the feedback I give y'all. Man, it's time for crappie fishing. Like I say, it's hard. It's a little harder than it is. Than it is at some lakes than other lakes because of the water clarity. It's hard at some lakes than other lakes because of that water temp fluctuate. But look, you can't catch them if you ain't getting out there. But one thing about it, I ain't getting out there tomorrow, SK. I'm sorry. Y'all going this coming up weekend, yeah. This coming up weekend, if the weather ain't too bad, we definitely gonna be out there on Lake Palestine this coming up weekend. Mr. B, I appreciate it, man. It's your boy Skinny Kenny, the Bronze Star vet. Double salute. We out.